Hello everyone, and thank you all for joining us. The views, opinions, and technical analysis presented during this webinar are those of Eastman and are not necessarily those of UL. The appearance of this content on UL sites does not constitute an endorsement by UL or its affiliates. Today's webinar is Introducing Biodegradable Eastman Esmeri CC1N10 Cellulose Ester Micropowder for Color Cosmetic Formulations and is presented by Eastman. Your presenters today are Maryellen Mantyla, Consumer Insights Manager, and Chloé Beaume, Applications Development Scientist at Eastman. My name is Derek Betcher with UL, and I'll be moderating today's webinar. Please send us your questions by typing them in the question box located on your screen. We are recording today's event and we'll send you a link by email when it's been posted to ulprospector.com. Now I'd like to hand it over to Maryellen. Are you ready to begin?
Thanks, Derek, and thanks to everyone who is joining us today. We are looking forward to the discussion. My name is Maryellen Mantyla, and I'm a Consumer Insights Manager here at Eastman. My job is to monitor and interpret consumer behavior in the markets that Eastman serves. I'm lucky enough to work in the health and beauty, textiles, and automotive markets, and I partner with our Eastman scientists and marketers as well as our customers to ensure our ingredient solutions deliver what brands need to delight their consumers. Chloé, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Maryellen. Hello, everyone. My name is Chloé Beaume. I'm an application development scientist here at Eastman. I am based in Ghent, in Belgium, where our European Technology Center is located. And in my role, I'm responsible for developing new applications for innovation projects, and I'm also the technology lead during customer interactions across Europe.
Thank you, Chloé. So here's our agenda for our discussion today. We are looking forward to sharing the details about our latest innovation, Esmeri Cellulose Ester Micropowder for color cosmetics applications. However, before we get into the technical details of Esmeri, it makes sense to put this innovation into context. So we are all aware of the growing concerns about microplastics and their impact on environmental and human health. Formulators across the industry are very familiar with the dilemma. Microplastics add great performance features to personal care products, but they no longer meet the needs of safety-conscious consumers and brands. Regulations on these microplastics are forcing reformulation and putting the industry in a challenging position. How can we deliver the performance and sustainability expectations that are needed? So this leads us to why I'm here, partnered with Chloé for this discussion today. Eastman invests in consumer research and shares the resulting insights to make sure that we are innovating in the right direction. Understanding what consumers want, need, and expect when it comes to performance and sustainability is crucial for us to provide ingredients and material solutions to brands. Our latest consumer research study focuses exclusively on color cosmetics and gives insight into how we as an industry can balance the trade-offs between performance and sustainability in color cosmetics. Through this study, it is clear that product performance drives consumer purchases of color cosmetics. Specifically, long wear, coverage, optical effects are the three top purchase drivers for consumers as they make decisions. Color and finish are also important purchase drivers. Consumers also expect brands to improve the performance of features that matter most to them. Consumers are not fully satisfied with the long wear, coverage, and optical effects of the color cosmetics they are using today. This study also reveals that consumers expect brands to use more sustainable ingredients as they improve product performance. When we dive deeper into this data, we see that consumers define sustainability in color cosmetics by the ingredients brands choose to use in their formulations. Consumers totally understand that ingredients make formulations, and formulations deliver the product, performance, and application features of their color cosmetics. Understanding how consumers define sustainability and then layering on top of that the performance features that are very important to them That's where we get a roadmap for innovation guidelines. Brands who can deliver both performance and sustainability will gain loyalty from consumers. Product performance alone is no longer enough, and sustainability alone will not drive purchase. For consumers, these two concepts are intertwined, and consumers expect brands to choose sustainable ingredients to enhance performance. Brands who explain, message, and consistently promote the use of sustainable ingredients to enhance performance will gain the edge with consumers. For those of you who aren't familiar with Eastman, I'll spend just a minute on our background. Eastman has been around a long time, and we are very proud to have been founded over 100 years ago. We have a very diverse portfolio of advanced materials and specialty additives that improve the performance of thousands of products. Even before sustainability was a thing, Eastman was leveraging bio-based technology to create new solutions. Our cellulose ester technology is a cornerstone of our expertise. Over the years, our scientists have created countless ingredients and materials from cellulose ester technology that add value in various markets. And today, we'll be talking about the personal care industry. But as you see, this technology is extremely versatile, adding performance and sustainability benefits to products in multiple industries. This chemistry, plus its application versatility, is a powerful combination. It keeps us fresh. We draw from the past and our past experience and apply it to solve the problems of today and tomorrow using bio-based technology. And when you have over 80 years of expertise in one technology, it allows you to stretch and adapt it in various ways. The institutional knowledge becomes the backbone for new innovation. So we still continue to invest and build new capabilities around our cellulose ester technology, because despite its proven longevity, it can be adapted and fine-tuned to address today's market needs. In applications, we are discussing color cosmetics today, but we are committed to creating sustainable solutions for skin, sun, and hair applications. In research and innovation, we know that in order to deliver sustainable ingredients that meet the needs of brands, we have to fully understand and reconcile the performance and sustainability trade-offs. And lastly, in technology, it's crucial that we invest within our technology resources. We invest in characterization, formulation, and application testing so we can be great partners to brands as they work with our ingredients to create products that consumers will love. So now I'll pass to Chloé, where she will introduce you to our latest high-performing sustainable innovation for color cosmetics, Esmeri Cellulose Ester Micropowder.
Thank you, Maryellen. Now I'm happy to introduce to you our latest innovation. Eastman Esmeri CC1N10 is a cellulose ester micropowder suitable for various color cosmetic formulations. It offers long-lasting and soft-focused properties, improved texture and sensorial experience, and a natural skin finish. The powder is biodegradable, naturally derived, sustainably sourced, and non-nano, but I'll come back to these points later on in the presentation. As Maryellen was explaining, sustainability is very important for Eastman and is taken into account at every step of the production process of Esmeri. To start with, the wood we use is exclusively sourced from sustainably managed forests certified by PEFC and FSC standards. This ensures compliance with environmental criteria, including the European Deforestation Regulation. In a second step, our cellulose ester will be produced through a closed-loop system where solvents are continuously recycled within the process, preventing any environmental discharge. Additionally, the micronization of the cellulose ester is performed using a solvent-free technique. This finally results in a biodegradable micropowder for color cosmetics, which delivers a sustainable solution with multiple benefits. And these benefits are seen within different makeup applications. In liquid foundation, Esmeri CC1N10 diminishes skin imperfections like fine lines and wrinkles for a long-lasting, smooth, and even look. And how this works is that the precise control of the ingredient's particle size and its uniform particle size distribution results in a powder that optimally scatters the light, filling in fine lines and wrinkles. This creates a smooth and even effect on the skin. In lipsticks, Esmeri CC1N10 improves color payoff while enhancing smoothness and evenness of application, and in pressed powders, it helps with compressibility while still delivering the desired pickup. Now let's dive into the performance and technical data. This slide shows some of the typical product characteristics of Esmeri CC1N10. The inky name is cellulose acetate butyrate, which is globally approved. It's a fine white powder, as you can see on the picture on the right side, with an average particle size of 10 microns and an average oil absorption of 80 grams per 100 grams. The powder is biodegradable, 60% in 60 days following the OECD 301B guidelines, and is certified non-nano based on the European recommendation of 2022. Both of these parameters are certified externally, and we have documentation we can provide you if necessary. I'd like to finish this slide on the naturality index, which is 0.62, based on the ISO 16128 guidelines, which means that the powder is naturally derived. Naturally derived and still compatible with lipophilic formulations, because we often see that alternative micropowders tend to be incompatible with lipophilic formulas. They can agglomerate or cause stability issues over time. These microscopic images show that Esmeri CC1N10 is very well dispersible in oil, like in castor oil here on the picture, but also in water and oil emulsions containing different types of oils, going from polar to non-polar. As you can see on the pictures, the powder particles are very well dispersed and no agglomeration is seen. What makes Esmeri CC1N10 so unique is the fact that it's a biodegradable micropowder, but is still compatible with lipophilic formulations. Next, I'd like to give you an insight into the general performance data, and I would like to start off with the optical effects. Esmeri CC1N10 reduces gloss and offers a great soft focus effect. The powder effectively blurs the wrinkles from the textured leather here on the screen. Textured leather has an uneven wrinkle-like texture and is a great substrate for skin. The pieces of leather here in this study were pre-treated with a primer before applying the dry powders with a makeup brush to mimic real-life makeup application. Esmeri CC1N10 offers a perceivable soft focus effect, which is similar to the silica and the nylon 12 used in this study, and superior to other micropowder technologies tested like PMMA and cellulose. The main reason for the gloss reduction is the powder's oil-absorbing properties. Esmeri CC1N10 has a medium oil absorption going from 80 to 100 grams per 100 grams, depending on the oil type tested. And what is so interesting is its high sebum absorption compared to other oil components. As you can see, the sebum absorption is almost twice as high compared to other benchmarks tested like nylon 12 and PMMA. This contributes to the long-lastingness of the effects, but this will be discussed in one of the next slides. From the textured leather pictures 2 slides ago, you could already see how Esmeri CC1N10 visually reduces the gloss from the formulation. Now, this slide shows that this gloss reduction is also quantifiable. The simplex used here in this study is a non-pigmented water and oil emulsion containing 5% of powder. This emulsion is drawn down on a glass substrate and a film of 30 microns is made, left to dry in the oven, and the gloss is measured from the film with a gloss meter at an angle of 60 degrees. And as you can see on the graph, Esmeri CC1N10 reduces the gloss from the formulation by 80% versus control. This is comparable to the silica tested. This gloss reduction results in a natural skin finish. Let's now have a look at how all of this translates to liquid foundation application. In liquid foundation, Esmeri CC1N10 offers similar soft focus properties as a dry powder does, and that's what the data here shows. This is a visual assessment of the soft focus effect of different micropowders on textured leather evaluated by a panel. The panel rated different pieces of leather pre-treated with equal amounts of foundation, which contained 5% of micropowder. The higher the score, the better the soft focus effect and uniformity of the coverage. On the graph, you can see how Esmeri CC1N10 has a great soft focus effect in liquid foundation, followed by silica, cellulose acetate, nylon 12, and PMMA. On the right-hand side, you can see some pictures from this test. And here, you can clearly see how Esmeri blurs the wrinkles, mattifies the formulation, and provides a more uniform coverage. This improved coverage is also confirmed through optical profilometer imaging. The foundation with Esmeri provides a better film formation, leading to a more uniform coverage. To translate these optical effects to real-life situations, we partnered up with an external contract research organization and worked on an in vivo study involving human volunteers. 2 types of formulations were used in the study for hemiphase application, the liquid foundation from previous slide, and also a non-pigmented simplex, both with and without 5% of Esmeri CC1N10. The pictures on the right were recorded with the color phase, which is a high-resolution imaging software. They nicely show how the pores are reduced in the formulations containing the Esmeri micropowder. Shininess of the applied product was measured by contrast glass, and in both formulations, the degree of shininess decreased with the addition of the powder. The study looked also at other parameters like fine lines and skin homogeneity, and all of those were positively affected by the addition of Esmeri. If you would like to have more information on the study, please feel free to reach out. The optical effects we just discussed are immediately visible, but they also last during the day. We conducted an external sensory panel with 13 trained women with skin types going from 1 to 5. The formulation tested in this study was a liquid foundation containing 5% of powder. 4 main attributes were tested, which are representative for long-lastingness of optical effects. Those were gloss, skin texture, stickiness, and coverage. These attributes were evaluated immediately after application and after 6 hours, and the results were compared against the foundation containing silica. We picked silica for this study because we know that silica has good long-lasting properties and is also commonly used as an alternative for microplastics. But we also know that recently there are concerns about silica being nano-sized, which Esmeri is not. The graph shows that Esmeri CC1N10 performs similarly to silica in liquid foundation. It provides a natural finish, reduces visibly the unevenness, and contributes to a smooth skin feel. But most importantly, the results are consistent over a 6-hour time frame, showing the long-lastingness of the effects. The second application I will present to you today is lipstick application. Besides emulsions, Esmeri CC1N10 is easily incorporated in anhydrous formulations like lipsticks. One of the main benefits is the improved color payoff. From the on-skin testing picture, you can see how increasing the concentration of the powder increases the color intensity and evenness of the coverage with the same amount of pigments. The best results are obtained between 3 and 9%. On the right-hand side, the improved color intensity is illustrated with microscopic pictures of lipstick swatches on glass plates. At lower magnification, we can clearly see the increased color intensity, and at higher magnification, you see how well the particles are dispersed within the lipstick base, leading to a better color deposition on the substrate and a uniform coverage, hence a better color payoff. This improved color payoff is visible, but also quantifiable through spectrophotometry. This slide shows spectrophotometric measurements of red lipstick swatches on silicone substrate. The color intensity increase here is represented by delta L. A decrease in the delta L value means a darker and more intense color, and the boost in red color here is represented by delta A. An increase in delta A values means a more intense red color. Both of these values combined provide a good characterization of the color intensity increasing red lipsticks. What we learned was that all micropowders tested improved the color expression, but we clearly see some differences. Esmeri CC1N10, here represented by the dotted line, performed similarly to nylon 12, both on the intensity increase and on the red boost, and better compared to silica, PMMA, and starch. Optimal results were achieved at 6%. After 6%, we reach a plateau. As you can see from the graphs, cellulose did it even better on the color intensity increase. But what we also see is that color intensity is not the only attribute affected by micropowders. In fact, the evenness of the coverage was also seen as being an important aspect of the lip quality. And here we saw some differences. So on this slide, you can see panel ratings from panelists evaluating the same lipstick swatches as used for previous tests. They rated the swatches on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning a better evenness of the coverage of the swatch. As you can see, Esmeri contributes to a very even coverage of the lipstick. And you can see it from the panel ratings, but also from the picture. And this was similar to silica, whereas cellulose, which had a higher color intensity increase from the spectral photometry, showed large color differences, as you can see on the pictures and also from the panel rating. So Esmeri CC1N10 improves the color intensity increase of a lipstick, while also improving the evenness of the coverage of the applied product, leading to a luxurious application of the lipstick. Esmeri CC1N10 offers great optical and long-lasting performances for color cosmetics. This is the first micropowder in our toolbox, and we are already working on new innovations to expand our offerings and answer various unmet needs. If you're interested to learn more, feel free to reach out. Thank you all for listening. It's time for our Q&A now, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat. And on this slide, we're also sharing the contact details of our business development leaders, Charlotte and Dawn. You can reach out to them as well for the expertise and collaboration you need.
All righty, as we get prepared for the live Q&A session here, please remember that the questions tab is located on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them over there in that questions tab. Maryellen and Chloe, if you'll bring your cameras up. All righty. So we have our first question here. This one goes to Chloe. Does the powder have an impact on the viscosity?
Yeah, okay. So we don't see a significant impact on the viscosity from the powder. We tested the viscosity in different types of formulations. So in the simplex formulation and also in the liquid foundation formulation. And there we see that the powder has a minimal impact on viscosity regardless of the concentration used. And we tested until 7%. So.
Okay.
And also to complement on this question, we also have stability data on the viscosity, so accelerated stability over a 3 months timeline. And here we also see that the viscosity is stable over time, which is also important to mention.
Okay, perfect. And then Chloe, this one is also here for you as well. I heard that the cellulose ester has a certain acidic smell in the nail care applications. Does your product have any odor?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the cellulose acetate butyrate used in nail care obviously has the same inky name as our micropowder Esmeri, but it's not the same polymer, meaning that it's not the same product. We did, more development for this product. So we also tested for smell, because we know that that's a negative side that cellulose acetate butyrate cellulose esters might have. And we don't perceive any smell, nor from the powder, nor from the powder in formulation. So makeup application.
Okay. And then Maryellen, I believe this one here is for you. Can the results of the color cosmetics consumer insight study be shared with webinar attendees?
Yes, that's a great question. So the study is really robust, and there's lots of components to it by region, by product types, by consumer cohort. So we will gladly share the insights based on anyone's personal request. So you saw Dawn and Charlotte's information for Americas and EMEA. That'll pop up again, and if you could contact them, we will then personalize the view for you of the consumer insight study, and we can share it that way. So the answer is yes, and it will be personalized to your needs, and we can discuss it in person or via video.
Perfect. And then just as a reminder to the attendees, they will also receive a follow-up email that will have their contact information as well. So, and then for Chloé, this one here is for you. During the presentation, the data showed a usage of 5% of your new ingredient and foundation applications. Is this the recommended usage level, or can we use more or less in these applications?
Yeah, good question, because it's true that all of the data that we showed, at least in liquid foundation, shows a usage of 5%, because we found that in our formulation, at least our simplex and our liquid foundation, this was the percentage which really gave a nice soft focus effect and long-lasting, etc. But we have tested at different percentages, and we see that the haze values, they do increase when you increase the concentration. So there is an effect of the concentration, dose dependent. But we also see that, you start having an interesting soft focus effect from 3% up to 7%. That's kind of the range that we recommend to try in your formulations.
And then, Chloé, would it be possible to get samples of this new product?
Yeah, of course. We can provide you samples of the powder to test in your own formulation, but we can also send you a sample kit, so containing liquid foundations, the ones that I just presented, with and without the powder, and then also the lipstick, so you can try them out for yourself. We're also at upcoming trade shows, like Sepawa next week, where we will have a poster, which once again, SCS Formulate in the UK, making cosmetics. So you can come and talk to us. And then the one in California, the CC1N10 we will also have a poster. So feel free to come to us and ask your questions.
And then, Chloé, can this product replace some known microplastics, for example, PMMA, nylon 12, as a direct drop-in?
Yeah, so we see that Esmeri CC1N10 has similar performances in terms of optical effects and long-lastingness as these typical microplastics that you just mentioned. And we see that we can also drop them in quite easily in our formulation. So we didn't make any tweaks to our formulations to fit in the Esmeri micropowder.
And then, Maryellen, have you run consumer research studies in other product categories, specifically skincare, sun care, or hair care?
Yeah, great question. And I'm thrilled to be able to say that we are running a skincare study now. It's a pretty large study, so it's going to field for a little bit. And those skincare insights should be available in Q1 of next year. And I think you also said sun care or hair care.
That's correct. Yep.
We love to hear from the industry. So if there's specific insights you'd like us to focus in on hair care or sun care, again, let us know. The studies that we run, we want to make sure that they're in keeping with what the value chain is dealing with across the industry. So your input on sun care and hair care would be great. But yeah, we should be able to come back to you in Q1 with insights from our latest skincare study.
And then, Chloé, how is this new product compared to silica, since I'm using silica as a main microplastic replacement?
Mm-hmm. So as you could also see from the data on a lot of these performances, we perform similarly to silica in terms of soft focus and long lasting. And lipstick, Esmeri CC1N10 has a better color payoff, so you can really see the more vibrant color. So compared to silica, but I would say, we know that especially in Europe, there are some concerns now about silica being nano-sized, and the industry we see is trying to move away from silica due to these nano and health concerns. And we expect the same thing in the US, but obviously we are following up the market to see how that it will evolve. And like I mentioned, Esmeri CC1N10 has been externally certified to be non-nano, following the European recommendation of 2022, but also the French decree.
Okay. And then, Chloé, do you have more details about the silica tested? Is it porous or not, spherical or not?
Yes. So the silica tested in the study was a spherical silica. It was comparable to Esmeri in terms of particle size and oil absorption, and it had some porosity to it.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like that is all the time we have for questions. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Just as a reminder, we will be sending a link to the recording of today's webinar so you can watch it at any time and share it with others at your company. We will also follow up to any additional questions that you may have. You will be receiving the contact information to the ladies that were at the end of the presentation. Now you will be redirected to Eastman's website for more information. Thanks again for attending, and we hope you have a great day.